During periods of semen retention, something subtle but undeniable begins to happen. People notice it first in the way the world responds to them. Strangers hold eye contact longer. Children stare, smile, or gravitate closer without reason. Animals that are usually distant become calm, curious, even playful. This isn't fantasy or ego. It's a pattern reported repeatedly by men who practice retention seriously. The question is not whether it happens, but why it happens. At the most basic level, all living organisms are constantly scanning their environment for signals of health, strength, and genetic stability. This process happens far below conscious thought. Long before language, logic, or culture existed, survival depended on reading these signals accurately. Modern science confirms this instinct still operates within us. Research on animals, particularly mice, shows that perceived attractiveness directly affects social treatment. Mice that display signs of strong health and sexual vitality receive more social engagement and more mating opportunities. These traits act as biological indicators that signal disease resistance and genetic quality. On the flip side, mice with suppressed testosterone levels or those that have been castrated are actively avoided, especially by females. The body knows when something is off. It always has. Testosterone plays a central role here, not just as a reproductive hormone, but as a regulator of confidence, posture, voice tone, muscle tension, eye contact, and nervous system stability. During semen retention, testosterone levels have been shown in multiple studies and blood tests to rise, especially in the early and sustained phases. But testosterone is only part of the story. What's really happening is energy conservation and redirection. When the body is no longer constantly losing its reproductive essence, it reallocates resources. Repair mechanisms strengthen. The immune system becomes more efficient. Hormonal signaling stabilizes. Skin quality improves. Hair patterns may change. Sleep deepens. The nervous system becomes calmer, yet more alert. This isn't mystical, it's biological efficiency. The body stops leaking energy and starts consolidating it. Across various species, including insects, mammals, and humans, sexual restraint has been correlated with increased lifespan. Excessive reproductive activity, by contrast, has often been associated with accelerated aging. Life energy is finite. How it is spent matters. When reproduction is restrained, the organism tends to preserve itself longer and function at a higher level. Human studies reinforce this pattern. Infants only days old with no cultural conditioning consistently spend more time looking at faces considered attractive. Adults do the same. This tells us that attraction is not purely subjective or socially programmed. It is deeply biological. Facial symmetry, skin clarity, eye brightness, and body language are interpreted instantly as indicators of internal health. Researchers have pointed out that while attraction includes more than just appearance, such as confidence, emotional stability, and presence, those deeper traits take time to observe. Physical and energetic signals, however, are processed in milliseconds. Before someone hears your voice or understands your words, their nervous system has already formed an impression of your vitality. Attractiveness, then, is not about trying to impress. It is about being well-regulated internally. When the body is strong, rested, hormonally balanced, and energetically contained, it emits signals that others instinctively respond to. This is why men on retention often report increased attention without changing their behavior consciously. The change happens beneath the surface. From this angle, semen retention is not about denying desire, but mastering it. It is the refusal to constantly externalize life force. By restraining reproductive release, the organism strengthens itself. And when the organism strengthens, it naturally becomes more noticeable, more grounded, more magnetic. This same understanding can be found echoed in historical medical literature. Physicians from previous centuries studied sexual excess not out of moral panic, but out of clinical observation. Dr. Samuel Auguste David Tissot, one of the most respected doctors of his time, documented what he saw repeatedly in patients who engaged in excessive masturbation and sexual activity. He observed physical weakness, mental fog, emotional instability, lack of motivation, and premature aging. His descriptions may sound extreme by modern standards, but the underlying observation is clear. Chronic loss of reproductive energy appeared to degrade the organism over time. He noted symptoms involving the nervous system, the senses, physical strength, and overall vitality. Whether we agree with all his conclusions or not, the pattern he observed aligns with what many men report today before discovering retention: low energy, anxiety, lack of focus, and diminished presence. What modern science, ancient observation, and lived experience all seem to converge on is this: reproductive energy is not trivial, it is foundational. How it is used or wasted shapes the quality of the body and mind. When semen retention is practiced with discipline, the body appears to shift into a state of optimization. Health markers improve, the nervous system stabilizes, the man becomes more internally coherent, and as a result, the external world responds differently. Increased attention from others is not the goal, but it becomes a byproduct. Animals and children in particular are sensitive to subtle biological and energetic cues. They do not analyze, they respond. Their attention may be one of the clearest signals that something fundamental has changed within the individual. None of this requires blind belief. It requires observation, research, and honesty. I am not a doctor, and this is not medical advice. These conclusions come from studying scientific literature, historical records, and real-world experience. I encourage anyone listening to investigate this for themselves, question everything, and pay close attention to how their body and environment respond over time. Truth reveals itself through disciplined observation.